All right, and to start red off, we've got a Braid. 1 and a red. Choose one. A Braid deals 3 damage to target creature, or destroy target artifact.
I like this card. You know why? It allows you to main deck artifact removal without the downside of main decking artifact removal.
This seems dangerous to me, that a card is this efficient, because it's almost a lightning strike. Like, how often does lightning strike actually go to your opponent's face? Not that often.
No.
You know, usually you're killing their 3-drop creature with it, or even a 4-drop creature. 3 damage to target creature is a lot.
Yeah, especially in this set so far.
That's sweet, and I would be very happy with that. But if I get to take out their Edifice of Authority instead, oh man.
Yeah, I love this card. I think it's great just because of that, because you don't want to be main decking artifact removal and sideboarding it in, you know.
Feels kind of awkward.
Yeah, so to me, this is so great.
Yep, first pick.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm happy to first pick this card. Next, we've got Blur of Blades. Is that Samut? No, that's just some random awesome battle chick. 1 and a red for an instant at common. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Blur of Blades deals 2 damage to that creature's controller.
So there are 10 1 toughness creatures.
Yes.
Plus any tokens.
Yes.
1 tokens.
Plus whatever we have from Amonkhet still, because there is 1 pack of Amonkhet. This might do enough. It's not quite as... It's not a shock. Like, it's not going to just kill any 2-drop.
No.
It does shrink something.
Yep. There are some things that it will interact with. There's the black card that you put a -1/-1 counter on something and then destroy something with a -1/-1 counter.
Yeah. Then you're 2 for 1ing yourself. I mean... Yeah.
Well, no, because if you have both in hand, that card itself reads put a -1/-1 counter on something and then destroy. So if this comes down... Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward. For me, I will probably grab it late, and if it looks like it'll fit in my deck, I'll put it in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sad playing 1, but I'm not going to be excited to get it early either. I'm going to pick it up wherever it comes to me.
Yeah, I just really like to find interesting ways to combo things off, you know?
This looks like something that could be more valuable in a cube.
Yeah, it could be.
You know, I don't know, but...
I think it's going to depend on how much -1/-1 counters end up being floating around.
Yeah.
Or 1-but creatures end up being floating around.
I think this is only okay.
Yeah.
Chandras Defeat. Red for an instant. At uncommon. Chandras Defeat deals 5 damage to target red creature or red planeswalker. If that permanent is a Chandra planeswalker, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. This is really weird. 5 damage should be enough to take out a Chandra planeswalker. Unless it's out of control.
Then you're pretty screwed anyway.
Yeah, for a single red, I mean, 5 damage is pretty sweet. This is another one of those sideboard cards.
Absolutely sideboard. And as much as I've been loving all of the art, this is one art I'm not that crazy on. I'm not fussed on it.
You know, there's been a lot of art of Chandra that's just sort of weird and not great. She looks like she's not having a very good time, but also she looks very thuggish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do like the flavor text.
Yeah.
Fire, is that your only trick, Chandra? Because... You know what? I'm going to talk about this in some other video where we talk about flavor.
Yeah.
But what would you say to this?
Sideboard only.
Sideboard only, but fairly high on a sideboard. Like, I would probably take this card over a mediocre playable for my deck if I'm in this color.
Yeah.
Because when you bring it in, it is going to be fairly good.
Yeah, 5 damage to a creature. A red... Well, it has to be a red creature, but
has to
you'd
be
be
red creature.
sideboarding it anyway, so...
But at instant speed, I mean, that kills a Glorybringer.
Yeah,
right?
for 1 mana. Yeah,
so,
that's true. So...
1 mana kill a Glorybringer.
That's not bad.
So I would take this for my sideboard over a mediocre playable, but not over a good playable.
Fair.
Crash Through. Single red for a sorcery at common. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Draw a card. Huh.
Sign me up for my red aggressive deck. I don't care if they know that there's going to be trample coming through, so I cast it beforehand. And I get to draw a card for one in red.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'm not picking this first pick, second pick, but I want one in my deck.
It's funny, because it automatically cycles itself. You know, it's like, it's pay red and cycle. You can do that.
Yeah. For me, it's great because it helps red a little later in the game if things aren't going great. Punch through that damage that sometimes you just can't punch through in an aggressive deck. So I'm quite fond of this card,
Yep,
actually.
I would have one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want
deck.
more than one.
So pick it up wherever.
You pick up fine sorceries.
I'm not sad about not getting one either.
Fair enough.
Inferno Jet. 5 and a red for a sorcery at uncommon. Inferno Jet deals 6 damage to target opponent, but it has cycling for 2. So this is basically a Lava Axe. Lava Axe is 5 mana, 5 damage.
But without the downside of it only being to the face. Like, you can cycle too.
Yep. I actually like this card quite a bit. 6 damage is a lot. And if that's not going to get the job done, you can cycle it. So, whereas a Lava Axe has a lot of downside of just not really winning a game, it can win a game. This one can also win a game, and if it's not, then you can draw into something that you really want.
Yeah,
Draw a land.
I mean, I'm not putting this in my rush deck, but in any red deck that seems like it's going to be not hyper aggressive, plus sideboard against decks that are going to make you have to go a little longer game.
See, and to me, my rush deck is exactly where I want this.
Really?
This is the reach. This is if they stall out at 4 life, or if I stall out with them at 4, then this wins the game.
But you're figuring in your rush deck that's going to happen?
Often.
Fair enough. And this is some Chandra art I can get behind.
Yeah.
I
this
love
is her
the
doing what she does
flames. It's beautiful.
So, where do I pick it? Not high.
I think mid-pack, because 6 damage is not something to sneeze
pick it
at.
up mid-pack. Mid to late. Kindled Fury. This is a reprint, I think. Red for an instant at common. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. This has been generally mediocre in the past, but as a lot of creatures have either equal power and toughness or higher power than toughness, this seems like a good way to win combat. I would probably run one.
Yep.
But I'm not going to pick it up early.
No, but at common, they should be flying around. So, yeah, I would run one?
Yeah.
Run one for sure.
This is going to be one of the last 3 cards in the pack, and you shrug and put it in your pile, and then maybe it makes the deck. Open Fire. 2 and a red for an instant, or just a spear being thrown. At common, Open Fire deals 3 damage to target creature or player.
Oh, red. Oh, red. Oh, red.
So, we had Lightning Bolt, and then we had Lightning Strike, and now we have 3 mana for 3 damage. How do we feel about that?
I'm fine with this. There is a lot of flames flying around in red this time, because we've got the 3 damage or destroy artifact, so you can really load your deck up with some sweet stuff. I mean, I'd rather pay 2, but I'll pay 3 because that's what we get right now.
That's kind of how I feel. Like I'd rather pay 2, but I guess I'll pay 3.
Yeah, and it's a common.
It doesn't scry like Bolt of Keranos from.
We were spoiled rotten then.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there is a lower toughness in this set than there was in
Theros.
In Theros.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this is gonna kill a lot of stuff.
This is gonna do the job. You're gonna pick it highly. I don't think I'd be happy first picking this, but in the first like 4 picks, maybe first 5 picks, it shouldn't go later than that.
Yeah, I want this as some red removal. So
yeah. How does it stack against Electrify, do you think? 4 damage, 4 mana. 3 damage, 3 mana.
Seems fair.
Probably comparable?
Yeah, it seems fair.
Okay. Puncturing Blow. 2 red for a sorcery at common. Puncturing Blow deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. So this is a Magma Spray on steroids.
Yeah, this is your answer to people who have cards that are going to come back and embalm or eternalize or something, because you kill it and you exile it, so it's not going to the graveyard.
And it'll kill most things.
Yeah.
Almost
everything.
How does this stack up against Electrify?
It's at sorcery speed, so...
Is Electrify instant? Yeah, it electrifies instant.
Yeah, it's instant. I still think it's fine.
I think it's probably better. I know Electrify is instant speed, but most of the time I was just electrifying main phase so that they didn't have any shenanigans anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like Puncturing Blow is probably the premium removal in red.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much by having to do it.
4 mana, 5 damage, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Seems
Never
really good.
to return.
Yeah, I would probably first pick this.
I don't think I'd first pick it, but I'd highly pick it.
Okay. Hazoret's Undying Fury. This is our first rare.
Oh, he's mad.
She.
She, right. She.
4 red for a sorcery. Shuffle your library, then exile the top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them without paying their mana costs. Lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. Your next untap step. So, a word on the cycle. This is not her last. This is her undying. I'm fine with that. She's not going to die, I guess. She's the god that remains. Or not.
Do we know if she lives through all of these?
I thought all the gods died, but I may be mistaken.
Of course, it could just mean that her fury is eternal.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean she is.
It's true. So, okay, 6 mana. Draw 4 and play them for free.
As long as they are mana costs 5 or less. But if
in a red deck, you're not gonna have many. Like, this should be your only 6-drop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I think this is slightly build around, because you don't want to be pairing it with something with really expensive creatures.
I might actually just throw one into my red rush deck and run 16 land and hope. But I don't know. Like, your lands don't untap. Well, if you're out of cards, then yeah, if this is the last card in your hand, then you get a little push forward, and then you're out. You're top decking.
And let's face it, if you draw 4 and you get to play 3 things for free, not getting to play something the next turn is probably fine.
So are you happy with this if you're playing 2 2-drops for 6 mana?
Probably not. I don't know how much I really want to play this, period, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just...
I feel like this is going to be one of the ones that wheels around the table and ends up last pick in someone's pile.
And somebody in the shop who builds crazy decks will probably run it.
I can think of a couple of players who are going to kill me with this card.
Yeah. I think it's just a little hanky.
I'm going to say unplayable in most circumstances.
Yeah.
Like, it looks cool, but I might put one in a constructed red deck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Here we go.
The eponymous card, Hour of Devastation. 3 red for a sorcery at rare. All creatures lose indestructible until end of turn. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker.
Oh.
Funny, this doesn't kill Oketra. She has 6 toughness.
Fair enough.
I can't think of what any of the other gods' toughnesses are, but I think this does kill most of the gods.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kill, or it kills and then they'll come back, the new gods. So,
but they go to your hand, right?
Nice
so
and flavorful.
So you need to recast them, so.
Sure, but it doesn't get rid of them for good.
No.
And I like the each non-bolus planeswalker.
Yeah, because nobody messes with bolus, man.
Mm-hmm. So, 5 mana, basically a wrath.
And it gets rid of the indestructible on whatever happens to have it, so...
I think this is probably the best wrath we've seen.
I think so.
I would first pick this, sure.
Of course, it's only 5 damage, but we have said that for the most part, there's not a ton beyond that. So.
Yeah, there's not a ton that's bigger than that, and you can orchestrate combat in such a way that if your creatures are going to die, you swing in with them anyway, you know? Yeah, I like it. I'm going to first pick it.
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Imminent Doom. 2 and a red for an enchantment at rare. Imminent Doom enters the battlefield with a Doom counter on it. Oh boy. Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of Doom counters on Imminent Doom deals that much damage to target creature or player, then put a Doom counter on Imminent Doom. So, equal. So you have to play a 1-drop to get any damage off of it. Am I reading that right? Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of Doom counters.
Yeah, unless you have some way to double the counters.
So what are our 1-mana spells that we're looking at?
There are a few. There's
Kindled Fury?
There's a couple of... there are a couple of 1-drop creatures. There are a few 1-drop combat tricks.
Okay. This is weird.
Yeah, I think we'd have to really look at what you're getting in your deck to make it worthwhile. I don't know that it is.
Again, I'm going to say this is unplayable in most circumstances.
For me, if I open a pack and it's, kind of mediocre and the commons or the uncommons aren't great, I might first pick this because I like to be in red anyway, and then keep it in mind as I'm drafting and, make sure I have a couple of 1-drops or a handful of 1-drops, blah, 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 and see how it goes. But for the most part, I'm probably just not going to ever see it.
How many times are you activating this? You have to cast a 1-drop, and then you have to cast a 2-drop, and then you have to cast a 3-drop, and this is already your on 3 or above. Like, if you're top decking with this is
yes, but
terrible.
Isn't it that if, say, you have 3 Doom counters on it, every time you cast a 3-drop, it's going to do damage to...
No, only once, because then you add a counter, and then you have to cast a 4-drop.
Yeah, so it does cap out, so yeah, this is unplayable.
It's weird. It's a weird build around, but no, I'm going to say it's unplayable.
Yeah.
So what did we think of red?
Spicy. Well, no, hot.
Hot.
Lots of flames.
I think I like the red removal, the damage-based spells, and then the rest of the spells are basically unplayable. So
Yeah.
It's interesting. All right, we're moving on to Big Green.